All right, so the latest chapter of One Punch Man finally came out. There was quite a bit of hiatus simply because Murata decided to revise a previous chapter just to follow up with the continuity. I guess there were some minor changes that he felt like if he changed in a previous chapter with some of the S-rank heroes, it would make more sense for these future chapters. Anyways, we saw at the end of the last chapter how Psykorochi shot this insane blast at Tatsumaki, but then Genos comes up using his new super suit and was able to fire a blast which redirected it and countered Psykorochi's megaton nuke, the thing that had the power to slice off the earth. So Genos, his new power, which only lasts for 10 minutes, is insanely strong. He's getting up to almost planetary level destruction, and as right here, Psykorochi fires another one of these massive blasts, Genos, protecting Tatsumaki, is able to counter it. So I don't have translations yet. As I get the translations for this video, for this chapter, I'll make another video on this, but I wanted to go over the raw images with you guys and just talk about this a little bit because this is a very hype and exciting chapter, something we've been waiting for and something another YouTuber, Shonen, and I were talking about actually did come to fruition in this chapter, which we'll see later on down the road. Now, this attack out of Genos is called the Piercing Lightning Cannon. This is his new ultimate technique with all of the upgrades that his doctor has given him, and he's going to have a literal Dragon Ball Z type beam struggle with Psykorochi. So this is neat, something we haven't seen out of One Punch Man, something that us shonen fans are all too familiar with, but they clash, and it seems to be pretty darn equal. Genos is going all out. He's basically equal to Psykorochi in terms of power. Tatsumaki is using this time to protect all of the S-rank heroes who are basically in danger because of the collapse of the Monster Association building. There's so much rubble and destruction going around everywhere, and she's saving them. But Genos, who basically counteracts Psykorochi's blast, or tries to, his suit overloads. You can see all the lightning starting to come out of his body. And he pretty much lost that, but it was still impressive. It was a very impressive feat nonetheless. And as the blast flies directly towards Tatsumaki, we see just such a beautiful picture right here from artist Yusuke Murata as she's basically holding Genos up. His tattered body, his core seems to have almost melted there. And basically, I think what's happening here, I don't have the translations, but Tatsumaki has been holding back her full power simply because she's protecting all of the S-rank heroes simultaneously. So while we thought that maybe Psykorochi was so much stronger, the most powerful psychic we've ever seen, and doing things that was actually damaging and hurting Tatsumaki, that's because Tatsumaki was holding back. And what we're going to see here, if you can see it from this little panel right here, a very evil 100% psychic power, imagine Mob Psycho going 100, start to unleash. I love this shot right here. You can see it's very Mob Psycho-esque. It's the same artist and author, by the way, and she just looks terrifying. Just the look in her face with the shadow covering the inner side of her body, just you're oh boy, it's about to go down, right? And even Psykorochi up here is what's happening? What is this power? You got Blizzard down here, just drawn so thick, my boy, from Yusuke Murata. He loves to draw Fubuki over there. And undoubtedly, this is something Blizzard saying something like, oh, my sister's about to go full power. You can start to see Psykorochi, some stuff starts to shred out of her body. And I think what Murata is drawing here is Tatsumaki with her eyes pure white, and she's slowly moving her hands. So when this would be animated, she'd be slowly crushing her hands into this position. She's even got the holes in her hands still from when she got pierced earlier, but she seems to be fine. It seems like she's still fully capable of using 100% power, even though they've been fighting back and forth for quite some time. And you can see even the Hero Association tilting their head because she's literally twisting space-time almost, doing this ability, whatever the heck it is. I can't wait to get the translations. And that's why you see the Hero Association guys twisting their head, because on the map, literally the map of Earth is twisting into a spiral. So this is super, super cool. This is peak psychic power, and just phenomenal picture right here. Just beautiful art. I can't even stand how good it is. You can see here, right here, this big panel on the left. She's literally twisting Earth and space and time in this one little spot. It's like ripping and destroying everything into shreds. I guess she can do this now because all the S rank heroes are safe, but if you look at all the little detail on this panel, it looks like a whole city is like kind of just like folding up into a whirlpool. I mean, it's just nuts. And basically what's happening is this is shredding and tearing apart Psykorochi. So what Shonen basically has some information. It was like a spoiler that Murata accidentally leaked during a live stream. It had some notes on the table or something. And basically what it said was what was going to happen. And what those said was that Psychos and Orochi would defuse. So basically what's going to happen is Tatsumaki is literally ripping them apart somehow. She is basically crushing all the little pieces and webbing of Psykorochi that has basically been like roots going through the Monster Association, going through Earth. It's like been absorbing and eating everyone, adding to its own power. It looks like, as you can see, all this like blood and stuff coming out of the ground. I think she's just crushing all of that stuff. And in doing so, it is separating Psychos and Orochi. So that is the full power of Tatsumaki. I'm not 100% sure what's happening here, but all of the heroes are breaking out of the rubble. Here we got Atomic Samurai, we got Super Alloy Darkshine, Amai Mask, Child Emperor, Pig God. So they're all safe. And this is what we knew was going to happen from the one webcomic, because right after this, when all of the heroes are brought up to the surface, that's when the Monster Garo arc, or the final part of the arc, is going to happen. So Monster Garo will be very, very, very soon. That's what everybody is super excited for. And here we have Flashy Flash and Saitama still, I guess, underground somewhere, trying to escape as everything is collapsing and being destroyed. And here you can see Orochi's kind of sludge face that he had when he was just a blob after Saitama one-punched him, is being ripped off of Psychos' body, and they are being separated. And this is just such a cool picture, showing so much depth, blood splattering out everywhere. The spiral mechanic of the artwork is just absolutely phenomenal. And just Tatsumaki just looks so awesome there. I mean, I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of hers, especially after this chapter. I like this character more and more as I read this manga, because just Murata does her so much justice. And I mean, come on, boys, she looks good. And she's not a lolly, all right? She's 25, so it's all right to call her thick. That's the end of the chapter. So basically what I think is going to happen based on the spoilers. So here I'm going to leave some spoilers for you guys who want to know about the notes that Murata wrote. Basically what I think happens is Psychos, Orochi, they defuse. It looks like Psychos will continue to fight Tatsumaki, while the S-rank heroes will fight and possibly defeat Orochi in his weakened state. And then what's going to happen is the monster executives are going to come up, like Homeless Emperor and all those guys. They're going to come up, and they're going to fight the S-rank heroes, who are very weakened in this state. And they're like probably even stronger than Orochi, like somehow. These monster executives are insanely strong. And at one point during that battle, Garo will awaken as well, and he will come out of the ground, and he will be in his monster form. So we're getting very, very close to Monster Garo, probably 2 or 3 more chapters. Now, hopefully, Murata, he does release these very quick. I feel like it's like every 2 weeks. I feel like this last chapter probably took a month, but that's because he revised one of the previous chapters. I didn't cover it on my channel because it wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was video worthy, but so I'll probably have to wait 2-3 more weeks for this next chapter, and I can't wait to see what they're actually saying here. So I'll make another video on that when I get the translations, particularly if there's some important information that we need to talk about. Oh, I just noticed this in the top. You can still see that little indentation in the moon from Saitama. I mean, Murata's attention to detail is just out of this world. In that tiny little piece up there, you can see the indentation from when Boros kicked Saitama up into the moon. I mean, it's crazy. All this little buildings and artwork, the amount of time and effort it takes takes and energy to draw all of those like tiny little detail. It just blows my mind. I mean, this guy just must work around the clock, and his work is just always a sight to be seen. I'm Mastar. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys soon for the translations and talking about what's coming forward. Peace.